Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to the North Shore 9 podcast presented by FanDuel. This is the NS9 postgame show powered by Permandi Brothers. Of course, I'm your host, Anthony DiNardo. With me, we got Doug E. Fresh. Doug, Pirates lose 3-2 today against the Seattle Mariners. How you doing?
I'm a little frustrated. That was a frustrating game, right? The way they made so many errors. I mean, the Mariners had 3 errors and, lots of base runners, and we just, couldn't get them in, leading off with a double and not getting them in, that sort of thing. The pitching, you only gave up 3 runs. You should probably win that game, given, especially when the other team makes 3 errors. But the Pirates, can you explain to me, we are fundamentally worse than every other team, right? We see bad fundamentals by other teams, but it's not just because we see the Pirates. They're really bad fundamentally, right?
Well, they tend to always be bad fundamentally. And I feel like every year they get worse. And somehow or another, most years they get better talent. Most.
Yeah.
I don't know how it happens.
Yeah, I don't. It's just so strange to me that nobody in Pirates organization can say, we're not very good fundamentally. Maybe we should make that an area of emphasis in spring training or, pregame workouts or something. They're just terrible. Nobody can throw a ball to a base, and nobody. It's so.
What's to say? It's all over the place. Also, it's not just like a select few. It's like, all right, you guys didn't develop or spend money in these certain areas, and it shows. It's not like Josh Van Meter missing first base or Will Craig missing first base or Brian Hayes missing first base or all the guys that don't know what to do at first base. It's just like you're right. I mean, even other guys that come in from other organizations that have produced and been good. It's just everywhere. It just seems like the fundamentals escape them. Like one guy, and this isn't to harp on him, but just to say, when Jake Mangum came here, he came here as he does all the right things. He's a gritty player. And it's like, he's not the type of player that he was advertised, or at least what he was.
No, not at all. Right. He looks like he's never played baseball before.
But that's a good example of that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's so true. And again, it's not just one thing. It's not just throwing the ball to first or turning a double play or hitting the cutoff man. It's everything. It's overrunning bases. It's running at stupid times. I mean, Nick Gonzales. I think Nick Gonzales has been thrown out at second more than any player in the history of baseball. It's just,
and it's a guy who can't hit to get to second. He's a singles machine. Second base should be cherished by Nick Gonzales.
Yeah, right. He obviously wants to get to second base. He really wants it to be a double, and he tries to make singles into doubles, and he tries to. I mean, the ball got past the first baseman 6 inches. You don't run there. You're not that fast. So yeah, it's just frustrating. It's, again, this team, when they lose, they look like the worst team ever in baseball. Right. They just. It doesn't. They just don't. I mean, again, a 3-2 loss, that happens every day in baseball. But the Pirates somehow make it unique the way they lose, and it's like this was another game they should have won. This was a game they should have won.
It was certainly a winnable game.
It was at least winnable. Okay, not maybe should have.
Thanks for the $5 super. Look, it's time to have the Don Kelly conversation. He is a terrible manager. Our fundamentals suck, and that's on the manager. This team is finished. Doug, I thought it was kind of funny before we went live on the air. We kind of talked to some level in this sense of I wish we could definitively have an answer about Don Kelly. He might suck. He might be good, but a lot of the things that are put on Don Kelly is the bullpen management. If he had some pieces that were good enough to make you have a definitive answer, we might have an answer on him. The team just playing sloppy. It just it doesn't matter what he does most of the time. Anyways, I appreciate the $5. I appreciate the opinion here. I don't know if I can say he's good or bad.
Yeah. I'm not sure. I get the sense that he doesn't have a good feel for how to use the bullpen, but I can't say for sure. Because every one of these relievers, every single one of them has proven unreliable.
Right.
Right. It's not like, oh man, you had Mariano Rivera and you didn't go to him and you went to the guy with the 8 ERA. That's not what he's doing. He's choosing between a bunch of guys with ERAs of 4.7 and 5, and then having them pitch with a bad defense behind them and that are fundamentally unsound. And I do. Right. You can say some of the lack of fundamentals is on him, but I don't know. Like Donnie Kelly, the Pirates blame is one of the hardest things to assign, right? You want to blame Don Kelly, but
there's a lot to go
is
around.
There's a lot, but it's like you don't know who's making these calls, right? I don't have every confidence that Donnie Kelly is running out these lineups and setting up, making these bullpen decisions. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if all of that's done by Ben Cherington. And then when I want to blame Ben Cherington for stuff, I'm not sure if that's not something coming from Bob Nutting. Right. It's like, I don't know. Maybe Ben Cherington wanted to spend a few more dollars. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know who to blame. I mean, I know ultimately it, resides with Bob Nutting. I would blame Travis Williams, but I think he was salting pretzels. He's busy. I don't know what to do with him. Maybe putting in a new swing set or something. But I mean, there's a lot of blame to go around, and I don't necessarily know. And then some of it's on the players. You've been playing baseball your whole life. You probably know you should not run from first there to second, that you're not going to make it. You should probably be able to throw a ball to the third baseman or the second baseman that he doesn't have to reach and jump up for, when you could be tagging a runner out who's wandered too far off the base. So I don't know. I'm at a loss. Like, I know I come in here with strong opinions and stuff. I don't know who to blame this on.
But the thing is, like, Doug, that's what makes today frustrating. Mitch Keller takes the mound, and this is the guy who's been going through a really, really rough stretch. And last start was a bit better, right? So maybe a little bit encouraging. He comes in today. Seattle's offense isn't. I mean, they get by with their pitching. There's some guys. Randy Arozarena came off the IL. He's been fantastic this year. So he's at the plate. So there's certainly a strong guy. But like, Josh Naylor's not having the best year. Not typical.
Nope.
Kyle Raleigh, what he had last year compared to this year, I mean, he's a complete shell of himself, right? So maybe
Julio Rodriguez,
sure,
he's not been great this year.
The respond game from Mitch, and he goes out today, and I'll say this: he did give up a lot of hard hits. So did George, or George Kirby. So did Kirby. But for the most part, he was getting away with it early. He goes out there, he pitches 6 innings, gives up 3 earned runs. He had some good swing and miss going today also. I'll give him that. Like, now, of course, when he wasn't inducing whiffs, he was getting hit pretty hard. There were some loud outs today. Again, 2 home runs, though, 3 runs, 6 innings. That is also a game that you'll take from Mitch Keller.
Absolutely.
Every time, right?
And I'll tell you, I was nervous the whole game. I was nervous in the first inning where he gave up a hit and he got 3 fly ball outs. Everything was caught at the wall. Excuse me. You're right. And that's a bad sign. They're kind of hitting the ball hard right in the first inning. It's only a matter of time before that catches up to you, and it did. But from what we've seen him over the past several starts, I mean, even his last start, which was he had a terrible first inning and then he settled down and then he gave up a run in the 5th. To me, that wasn't that great a start. It was better than what he's been doing.
Sure.
But this was, I mean, again, this was a decent start. It's from, the theme from last year. He pitched well enough to win. Like I said, it was very, he got 2 ground ball outs, I think, and 11 flyouts. It's very, very nerve wracking, but he did. Right. Let me read here. Doug and DiNardo. This is from Michael B., our number 1 source of revenue. Prime example: Dennis Santana should not have been used in the 9th inning. It worked out, but he has a 5.23 ERA. It's stuff like that. Michael, who would you use? The whole bullpen stinks. And it worked. I'm not going to criticize him for stuff that worked. Now, again, if you would have brought him in the 9th inning and we were protecting a 1-run lead, we were losing. I mean, again, who would you have used there? If you can give me, if you've got somebody in your bullpen that I don't know about, I love you, Michael, but who? Tell me who, and make an argument that he would be better than Santana. There isn't anyone that you can't be sure.
That's kind of a problem. Even when there's a guy with a better ERA, that's his night that he goes and implodes also. But right, like getting back to Mitch Keller, I'm with you. Like this to me, no, sorry, Doug, but like this to me was a game where like you take. I don't necessarily look at it as like this was a good, encouraging start. It's almost like my talk about. I keep referencing this, like Bubba in Toronto, right? Like Bubba in Toronto pitched well, numbers wise, results wise, like the 11 strikeouts, right? It was fantastic, but he was still kind of all over the place. And Mitch Keller, results wise today, it's a better start. It's a more encouraging start. He strung together 2 solid starts where he was really, really bad, for 5, 6, 7, however it was. This is encouraging, but it wasn't like a whole lot different. It's just like the hard hits today, like you mentioned, 11 flyouts, and pretty much all of them were hit very hard. A lot of warning track power today. You don't really want to see that. Like that's kind of the problem. Do those go out in other ballparks? Is it 3 home runs today and it's a 5-run game instead of 3, at one point? So yeah, like it's not like, okay, I'm encouraged by Mitch. The results were better today, but I don't look at this start and say, all right, I'm feeling better about Mitch Keller. It was still
well, there is some good news, and I'm going to give a little programming note here. This Monday on Bucko Brew, DiNardo and Jim are going to have a deep dive into why, even though it doesn't necessarily appear so to the eye, that Mitch Keller is pitching better than he's ever pitched in his life. Right, they're gonna use some xFIP and xWOBA multiplied by, and in this economy, it's really good. So look forward to that Monday, 7 a.m. Eastern, brought to you by Defer Coffee.
Doug, just for that, I'm making sure Jim scheduled you for 3 more post-game shows at least this week. Yeah. Shame on you. I'm here using that stuff to tell you that Mitch didn't have that good of a start.
We'll see.
But I love it. But honestly, like it was a good start numbers wise. But also, again, like on the same side of things, George Kirby was giving up a lot of hits. The difference was his hard hits were also a little more liners on the ground, not as much fly balls. You got nervous, but the Pirates were hitting him pretty hard, and that to me was the frustrating part. Yes, the blunders today was an issue. But on the same thing, like the Mariners were giving it right back. Like they were bailing out the Pirates also.
Sloppy game on both sides.
They were actually getting hits, off of Kirby, who's a good pitcher. They had 3 walks today. They had, how many hits was it? Sorry, 9 hits.
9 hits, 3 walks.
But they 3 errors. 2 straight runners in scoring position.
They're right.
9 left on base. And the one thing, like you mentioned, even when they were getting hits, like Nick Gonzales got the single and the Mariners bailed them out by having a bat throw the first. Pirates get a guy in third. Nick Gonzales takes off for second and gets thrown out, and that's the end of the inning. Like they were just squandering their opportunities. They were doing what they needed to do. They were getting the George Kirby. They were getting on base. They just couldn't get anyone across home plate.
All right. You got an RBI single from Ozuna today.
You can't let that go to waste.
You can't waste that, right?
And
that's exactly it.
Challenge.
Yeah. And he won the challenge too. I mean, my God, that was this far off the plate. I'm like, how did they call that? I knew Ozuna was right. It was too obvious. I mean, it was unbelievable. Right? And the umpires were sloppy. Everybody was bad tonight.
Yes, except for the Mariners closer, who's just dominant.
Lights out. And the North Shore 9 postgame show. We are peak performance tonight.
Now that's what analytics are you using, Doug? Because I'm all over you on that.
It's a low bar. It's a low bar, sir. It's a low bar.
All right. So yeah, Mitch Keller starts today. Again, it is what it is. He allowed the team to win. The 6th inning was very shaky. Also, I mean, it was a much better numbers wise. I mean, the Pirates had a lead into the 6th. And then Mitch Keller gave up the 2 runs. It was a 2-run ball game. He gives up the 2-run shot. Again, the 6th inning, he looked even worse, right? He was definitely starting to fall apart.
And where did the guy that hit the home run from? Like, there should just be a rule. If someone's from the area, just don't pitch to him. I mean, I don't know. I don't even know who did. Was that Ian Happ or was that JJ Weatherholt? Was it David Bednar? I don't know who it was, but you're right. It's just a variety of people it could have been. Cole Young, congratulations, coming back home. Good for you.
Are you saying Neil Walker's needs to suit up again for the Pirates?
Yeah, not for the Pirates, against the Pirates.
Well, no.
No, if he suits up for the Pirates, he's going to look like an old man, right? If he suits up for the opposition, he's going to have 4 hits every game.
Neil Walker, Hall of Fame watch back on.
Yeah, John Wayner probably get 4 hits against us, and I know he's my age, for crying out loud. Well, not quite,
but yeah, like then Mason Montgomery comes in and he was effective. He had traffic on. He did what he needed to do. Again, one of those guys that are always up and down. Was that the right call? Was that the bad call? It worked.
Yeah, it was all.
John Kelly called
very
for
scary
Montgomery to go in.
Right, very scary. I thought for sure after he got the second strikeout, I'm like, okay, we're all excited he got the second strikeout, and now he's just gonna. And it was Julio Rodriguez, righty versus lefty. Everything was in Seattle's favor in that, and he got the job done. Again, he's a guy with an ERA of 4.7 something. It's who do you choose? Who do you choose?
Right.
Michael B did say, Sisk. I mean, I suppose, but he can't pitch every inning and he can't pitch every day.
Just to put this out there too, like I don't know how much I trust him in high leverage yet.
Yeah, and with runners on,
he's had the opportunity often to pitch in high leverage.
True, but his inherited runner scored allowed is terrible. Right, he can come in with a clean inning, but if there's a guy on base, he lets him in more than half the time.
Yep. So again, Montgomery does his job. Matson comes in to get through the 8th. Right. Let's carry this over. Let's give this team a chance. Matson comes in, scoreless 8th. He did his job. I mean, ironically enough, the bullpen did their job today.
Yeah.
When they didn't.
Yeah. No runs allowed.
Like this is, like the games they're behind, right? They're not trying to preserve a lead at this point. And it seems like if that's the situation, they can do their job. And they did so today with like 3 guys that tend to just not be able to do their job. Like one guy, Matson always it's been so long. I mean, it seemed like he was not used for a while before he finally got sent down. This has been called up. He hasn't been used a ton either. Like I always forget he exists on this team, and he was a big staple coming into the season. But again, like he comes into the game today, he did his job, and then, as mentioned, Dennis Santana comes into the 9th to again try to give this team a chance, and Dennis Santana looked a lot better today.
Yeah, outside the Colorado appearance, his last 5 or 6 outings have been pretty good, and he historically has been terrible in Colorado. I don't know how that will translate to trying to preserve a 1-run lead in a game. I don't know. He's only been sort of brought in these type situations, but it's somewhat encouraging. I hope. I mean, he's my guy and I love him, but he's been awful. And if he doesn't get it together soon, they're going to have to do something. But it seems like there's been a little progress. We'll see. We'll see when an important situation comes along.
If
yeah.
Let's go ahead and cut over to Cody here. We'll be back to talk a little bit more about this ball game.
This episode is brought to you by IQ Bar, our exclusive snack hydration sponsor. IQ Bar protein bars, IQ Mix hydration mixes, and IQ Joe mushroom coffees are the delicious, low-sugar, brain and body fuel you need to win your day. The Ultimate Sampler Pack is a great way for you to try all IQ Bar products and flavors. You get 9 IQ bars, 8 IQ Mix sticks, and 4 IQ Joe sticks. All IQ Bar products are clean label certified and entirely free from gluten, dairy, soy, GMOs, and artificial ingredients. With over 20,000 5-star reviews and counting, more people than ever are fueling their lifestyles with IQ Bar's brain and body boosting bars, hydration mixes, and mushroom coffees. The Ultimate Sampler Pack includes all 3. My personal favorites so far have been the almond butter chip and the iced tea lemonade hydration mix. It's just really full of flavor. I love starting my day with it, and I couldn't imagine starting my day with anything else other than IQ Bar products. Right now, IQ Bar is offering our podcast listeners 20% off all IQ Bar products, including the Ultimate Sampler Pack, plus free shipping. To get your 20% off, text MLB to 64,000. That's MLB 64000. Message and data rates may apply. See terms for details.
So yeah, Doug, we talked a little bit about the pitching here. We talked about the blunders, back to the offense. Again, they had 9 hits. 11 hard hits today. As mentioned, like as hardly hit Mitch Keller was getting taken today. Like George Kirby was getting hit pretty hard. You know, they had 11 hard hits today from the Pirates. I mean, the top of the order. I mean, the first 2 innings, right? So, I mean, the first 2 innings, the first 2 times through the order today with Horwitz, Lau, and Reynolds. I mean, they were up to bat 6 times in total, and all 6 times they had 6 hard hits. You know, against George Kirby. You know, they're getting to him again pretty hard, hitting some good contact here. Again, like that's just what was to me very disappointing. And it's kind of been like the MO of this team. This team has, again, though, like this team does have a good offense, you know, and they're 5th, at least at one point. I don't know if it's 5th or 6th or 4th right now at this point in time, in runs scored, you know, like the 5th best OPS in baseball. The guys can hit, the guys can get on base. And that's what they did today as well. Again, 9 hits, 3 walks. They found themselves getting on base. They just were not able to execute, do the right things correct to score more than 2 runs.
Yeah, the first 7 guys in the lineup got hits. You know, it wasn't like only 2 or 3 guys got these hits or hit the ball. The whole lineup was hitting, except, you know, the bottom 2. And that's not uncommon for a lot of teams. It's certainly not uncommon for the Pirates. But yeah, I mean, you got a hit out of Harwish. You got 2 from Lau. You got 1 from Reynolds, 2 from Gonzales, a hit from O'Hearn, a hit from Andy, a hit from Ozuna. Right.
And
with that, you combine that. Right. You add the walks, you add the 3 errors that the Mariners made, and you've got to get more than 2 runs out of that. That, you know, they just somehow, even while getting the hits, getting on. George Kirby did not look as good as Mitch Keller, and Mitch Keller had me nervous, you know, every inning that he pitched because of the hard hit balls to, you know, to the warning track, to the wall, that sort of thing. Kirby looked no better.
To the warning track, to the wall.
No, I'm not going any further.
You sure, Doug?
Sure? I'm sure.
Right.
Don't. I don't need a YouTube hit, a FTC hit. I don't need an investigation.
Make Doug go viral.
Yeah, don't need that. So they find, you know, ways. Like I said, it is a pretty good offense. I get. Probably, Pirates are 27th runners scoring position. I guess that's part of the way that they can, you know, be such a good hitting team, but yet not produce the runs they need to. This is just a weird team. It's a frustrating team. They can't seem to fire on all cylinders, right? There's a lot of times there's something really good to see, but there's the 2 or 3 other things that outweigh that good. And that seems to be the story of the season so far. And that's why they are a game under 500.
Absolutely. You sum it up perfect. Like the pitching for the most part has been fine. I mean, like of late it's gotten worse. And hear me out what I'm trying to say. Like the bullpen now is progressively getting worse. But like at one point, like the bullpen was still like middle of the road ERA wise, right? The starting pitching was still top 10 ERA wise. The offense has continued to be like top 5, right? It would just always like tonight, like the bullpen will show up then when it's a low leverage. So that helps the ERA. When it matters, that's when they decide to implode. You know what I mean? So like you said, it's always, I refer to that game that it's like the 3 bars. You know, you can never have 3 bars all the way to the right. The second you move the 1 to the right, the third one on the bottom goes to the left. You know, like that's how this team is, right? If the starting pitching's clicking, if the hitting's clicking, then you can't have a good bullpen that day. The bullpen's going to slide, you know, to the left and be bad. If the bullpen's clicking and the starting pitching's clicking, then the offense isn't going to show up today. And that's just like what it is. And you're right. Like the thing about this team, there's a caveat to this. Like, yeah, they're bad with runners in scoring position. You know, they have a lot of left on base, but at the same sense, like they have the second most opportunities of having runners in scoring position. Like the caveat to having so many guys left on base is you give that many opportunities, right? I mean, that's why they do score so many runs, but it comes down to the clutch factor. It comes down, yeah, it's nice when you can do that and have a 10-2 victory, but when it's a 3-2 ball game, how are you going to find yourself to win? How are you going to get that clutch gene to win? And like, that's why it's frustrating. And in these moments where you're already scuffling, you get to, you're getting to George Kirby, who's a good pitcher. You're getting a solid Mitch Keller outing. Like, you got to find a way to win this game. And going back to your point, that the Mariners are giving you opportunities to win because they don't know how to play defense either. So like, you need to find a way to get that guy across home plate and get yourself a victory.
We're 2 games away from the halfway point of the season. We're at 79 games played so far. And if you would have told me at the beginning of the season, on day one, if you said we're going to have 5 guys on pace for 20 home runs, at the midway point of the season, that we're 5th in hitting, that we're scoring runs, that we're, all this sort of stuff, I would have told you we'd be 10 or 15 games over 500. I thought that pitching, and again, I didn't think the bullpen was going to be elite, but I sure thought Soto, Santana, Matson was going to, and Majinski at some point was going to be good enough, right, to get you through most of your situations. And that, I never would have thought that we'd have more blown saves than saves. I never would have thought that nearly every single pitcher except save Braxton Ashcraft has regressed this year. That, this year's pitching staff is much like last year's hitting, where every single hitter got worse. It doesn't seem possible that can happen, but every single, and then the defense is just. But we knew the defense was going to be bad. You
Sure.
You have like I said.
Also, it's like, did we think this bad at times?
I think maybe we did.
To your point, Doug. Yeah, I mean, like, again, all Ben Cherington had to do was get the number 20th offense in baseball. That right. was really the goal. Like, if they could just be like 20th. So if you find
average, if they could just be average,
right? If you find like a 15th offense in baseball, like, this is probably a playoff team. And right now they're number 5. So yes, again, like, if it was March 27th and you're told the Pirates have the 5th best offense in baseball, I'm smashing the over. I'm smashing the playoffs. I'm smashing everything because they're winning a division. And here we are.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to be contending for the division.
500.
And they got to look over their shoulder at the Reds right now for Pirates' favorite place, 5th. Their favorite spot in the division, in the NL Central. Finished 5th more than anybody. The times they didn't finish 5th, they finished 6th when there was another team in the division.
Yeah. The spots go 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and Ben Cherington.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't have much more to say about this game.
No, just yucky. It was yucky. It was fun, right? Like I said, maybe they shouldn't have, but they sure could have won this game. And they let it get away just through a, sort of a variety of, again, if the Pirates had a lockdown bullpen, I don't think Keller goes out there for the 6th. But he was the best option, going into he really was.
Yeah.
And, but like I said, if we would have had just the bullpen that we had last year, the way it was producing, those guys, it was like, oh yeah, we got this. We got 3 innings, no problem. And, but no, so now you're making these decisions, Donnie Kelly's faced with making these decisions with just damned if you do, damned if you don't, and right. It's just a frustrating game. Let's put it to bed. We'll be back tomorrow.
We will. For a very analytically underwhelming post-game show.
Well, it's not going to be very analytical if I'm on here.
Tomorrow, Braxton Ashcraft takes the mound. So, I mean, if there's anything, he can certainly be a stopper. He's pitched well the majority of the season. He goes against Brian Wu. The Pirates are now minus 112 on FanDuel. I don't know. I think it's time to ban the Wu at PNC Park. Doug, what about you?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we need Braxton Ashcraft. We need a vintage. I mean, it hasn't been around long enough, I guess, to say. But he, one of his peak performances,
circa vintage 2025.
Remember July of last year, Braxton Ashcraft. That's what we need. We need 7 innings, 2 runs or fewer, and then we need the bats to come alive.
And then still a prayer.
Yeah, and then hope the defense doesn't make any mistakes, and hope that base running doesn't kill you.
And in that bullpen, because remember, you can never have 3 buttons to the one side.
Right. And as you said, that bullpen with with the lead, is
right.
scarier than, Backrooms and Obsession and all those great horror movies out these days.
Well, there's that. So yeah, once again, Pirates lose. They're now a game under 500 once again. But we'll be back tomorrow. We'll see you guys then. Doug, are you on the post-game show again?
I don't think so. I got Thursday. I got Sunday.
That's your punishment.
Yeah.
That's your punishment.
Well, my punishment is I don't think we have another person to join Jim on Saturday, and I said I would do that. Now that's punishment. Jim will just kill me. He'll just rattle off.
That's fair enough.
Ex-Woba all post game long, and I'll just be, no.
Go ahead and like the video. Subscribe if you haven't. Check out the website. Once again, northshore9.com. It's all revamped. Awesome stuff there. Check out the app we have going on. We've now hit over 100 downloads. I think there's 102 users now on the app. It's really cool stuff. We get some really good feedback. So go do that stuff. Give us some feedback. Doug?
Listen to Alex Stumpf every morning, Monday through Friday. NSN Live this week, and then don't forget Monday's Bucko Brew. You don't want to miss that one. And hey, we're going to Cleveland. We're going to Cleveland in July. We are. We're going
July. What? 16th?
It's like 16th, 17th, something like that. Yeah.
That weekend. It's the one after the All-Star break. We'll be in NS9 goes to Cleveland. Yeah, we'll be at the Guardians series to watch them. So we'll have more details. We're getting things sorted out. We're probably going to have like a tailgate on Saturday.
17, 18, 19. Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, that'll be fun.
But yeah, most of us will all be there. So
yeah,
it'll be a good time.
All the important ones for sure.
All right. So Jim's staying home? No. Let's get out of here. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.
Let's go Bugs.
All right, that wraps up this episode of North Shore 9. Thanks so much for tuning in. Whether you're listening on the podcast or catching us on YouTube, if you enjoyed the show, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps us grow. And if you're listening on the podcast, a quick review goes a long way in helping others find the show. Plus, be sure to tell a friend about us. There's always room for more here in the NS9 community. And for those looking to support us a little more, consider joining our Patreon, become an MVP member, and get exclusive perks while helping us continue to bring you more of the Pirates content you love. Thanks again for all your support, and let's go Bucks.